Welcome to Drawing with Vince Mancuso. All right, we've got one more thing to cover in regards to the details in the human head, and that is hair. Let's get into it. So let's first establish the sort of the border generally of where the hair is located on the mannequin head. I'm going to put this in red. So we know that our hairline is somewhere in here, okay? From the corner of the brow, we get a natural part there. The same thing would happen on this side of things, and it would look something like this and would probably continue on to the back like that. That would roll all the way around to here, and the neck would connect. Of course, we get facial hair and so on and so forth, but the general hairline now, the ear is located here, right? So you've got now something like this, sideburns coming down, okay, coming down the side of the head. So all of this hair, this area would be where the hair sprouts. Okay? Something to that effect. And pretty much true for the female, right? This is all kind of like little hair follicles, where the hair, will start to grow out. Because this is true, what happens is the hairs grow very close together, and because of this, they create sort of electrical shock, and they tend to clump together. Okay, they tend to hold together, kind of thing. So they move in sections or in groups. Okay. And you'll see how this starts to work when we start constructing the flow of the hair or the hairdo on the mannequin head or on a human head. There's basically a couple of different directions, right? That the hair the hair strokes kind of go. Okay, you have a stroke, for example, that is a curve. Inside curve, right? Outside curve, right? You have a sort of an S shape, right? Which is then curls back the other way. Okay, you have a spherical form, right? It starts from a point and it works its way around. Okay, these are all the kind of directional strokes that are directly related to hair movement. Okay, so you do that kind of thing, and these are the basic strokes. If you're doing very tight, you're doing curls. You're doing curvy, right, and then counter curve, and then curve, and counter curve, and then curve, and counter curve. Okay, and the same thing is big wide ones, right? Curve, counter curve, right? S shapes and counter curves. And they flow together. Okay, and these are the various movements. Now, the key thing when doing this, when sort of creating the hairdo kind of scenario, is this. First, think of it as a form, as a sculptural form. Like, obviously, you're going to want to soften it to make it look realistic. But if you think of it as a structural form, I'll do it in yellow so you can see it, right? And look at the structure of the hairdo. Okay? See, I'm building it with planes. It's going to tuck in here to the part, then it's going to come up another surface like that, and going to slightly lean and flip under like so. It's going to come up the side and across, then long down the back and tuck in behind the neck like so. Okay, so there's the structure. It's going to have connect to the side there. So it's just coming a little bit below the hairline. There's the structure. Now, if I turn around and let's see here, let's just turn that off. Okay, and now I turn around and I want to draw it up. When I structure or when I start to do the final drawing, I'm basically going to use my movements, my directional movements, to start to define the hair a little bit. Look, okay, just get that flow, right? And I'm sort of creating the directional movement of the hair follicles, right, on the foundation of the form, okay, moving in direction. Remember, they're growing out from the head, and then they're coming out from the follicles, and they're going up, and then they're being pulled down by gravity. There's electromagnetic energy clinging them together so that they move in groups, okay, so that you do not have to draw every follicle. You are basically defining the form, right? The general contour, outline, and structure of the hair. Let's see here. Look, there you go, right? There's beautiful hairdo, right? Good looking guy. Give him some sideburns here. Right, like that. Okay. See how that came together? Right? And we can do something different. Okay. Now here's the key thing. If you want to create a sort of a blonde, right? You basically just adjust the density of your line and the thickness of your line. Okay. So let's create like a really cool girl hairdo. You're gonna get a little. Let's get a little growth going out like this, and then kind of bob it. Yeah. Come up and come down like that. Okay, so I'm trying to create where the structure is. Come up like that, and we're gonna come to the hairline. And kind of do that kind of a thing. So I've always got to practice my hairdos, you know. Let's see what this sort of plays out. And I sort of want it to be like a kind of blonde, little cut bob kind of scenario. So let's take this away. Let's grab that and move this over here. And I'll create another layer. And now I'm going to ink her up. And let's see what we get here. So I want her to be blonde. So now what I'm doing is I'm doing fewer strokes, more open. Okay. I'm staying within the border, right? See that? Staying within the border of the structure of the hair that I had designed. Keeping the strokes light. Let's get rid of the yellow now. Yeah, there you go. Got something happening there. Just bring that out a little further. Okay, so for example, this is a young lady. Look. Here would be there. Okay, her nose, little ball tip. I like doing a more triangular thing with girls. I've always liked that kind of nose. You know, it doesn't always have to be ballish or like a ball in nature. You know, it could take on different forms. See? Like that. But that's for, again, you know, these are guidelines, right? We think about them, we utilize them, and we defy them when it suits us, you know, knowingly, right? And that's cool, right? Because it's the effect that you want to get, right? And that's what this is all about, you know, creating a cool drawing that communicates, making it beautiful, and then get it to a certain point where, hey, it could actually be finished illustration, you know, that whole kind of thing, right? It's awesome. I love line art. Okay, so there, you know, so there's a hairdo that works. Right? And that's pretty much, you know, the gist of managing hair, right? You sculpt it as a sort of a block structure and get its height, width, depth qualities, right? So that it has form and it helps shape the head, right? That's a pretty severe chin for her, so I'm gonna soften that up. It'll make her look more feminine. Yeah. Right. And just get that. Yeah. Just get that. Just a little softer. That's right. That's more girly. Yeah. And there we go. Right? And that's pretty much the hair. You know, you fluctuate those strokes in between. You can make that person look blonde, or you can start to make them look more raven by making sure that the lines are denser in between, right? And you can start to achieve all levels of execution there. All right, so now that completes all the features of the human head. Knock yourselves out, have some fun. Copy these lectures as you go, and then we're going to talk about Project 8, which should be a lot of fun. Okay? See you next time. Ciao for now.